I just got my hands on the new GoPro Hero 12, just unboxed it, and I want to know if it's worth upgrading from the GoPro Hero 11 Black. So in this video, I'll be filming with both cameras side by side. That footage is unedited, so you can see exactly what it looks like and sounds like straight out of camera, and you can make up your own decision about it. We'll do some image and audio quality comparisons, testing out new features on the Hero 12, including HDR and log video shooting, Hypersmooth 6.0, shooting with the new Max Lens Mod 2.0, comparing it to the original Max Lens Mod, do a Bluetooth audio test, and also a battery life comparison to see if the battery is indeed any better on the Hero 12. This video is not sponsored. I bought both of these GoPros with my own money, and I genuinely want to know which one is best for filming travel videos for my vlogging channel, Discover. Pretty much all the videos there were filmed with a GoPro. First of all, let's take a look at image quality on skin tones. So this is what it looks like. It's shooting in 4K 60 in natural color for both cameras. Also 10-bit is enabled. When shooting in standard, the Hero 12 footage looks pretty identical to the Hero 11. I don't see any difference between these clips. However, all of that changes when you have HDR or log enabled on the Hero 12. Next, I want to test out the new HDR feature on the GoPro Hero 12. So HDR has not been present on GoPro cameras maybe ever, definitely not in the last few models. But it's brand new in the Hero 12, so right now we're shooting in HDR with the Hero 12, standard mode on the Hero 11. Now when shooting in HDR, you do have some settings that are grayed out, such as your resolution, you're capped to 4K or below, and also you can't change your shutter speed or your ISO. And also your lens choices. You can only do linear or wide. There's no horizon leveling when you're shooting in HDR, which you can now see in effect, versus the Hero 11, which does have linear horizon leveling enabled. But you can choose a few things such as your sharpness levels and your color profiles. So let's test those out. Okay, I know some people really hate HDR, and I admit when it comes to skin tones, it really doesn't look the best. But for landscapes or scenery when there's really high dynamic range, HDR in the Hero 12 looks pretty good in my opinion. Check out the hotspots on the left side of the Hero 11 image and see how HDR handles it on the Hero 12. Wow. With that said, there are some times when HDR appears to be more subtle and there's less of a dramatic difference. But in general, as long as my face isn't in the shot, I'm a pretty big fan of it. Next up, I want to test out the new log feature, which is brand new in the Hero 12, did not exist on previous GoPros. Now log keeps most of your settings available so you can choose them, but the things that I want to test out the most right now are the sharpness levels, as well as the color. I want to compare it to the flat color profile in the Hero 11. When you shoot in log, you will have to edit the footage, but it can really help you preserve the dynamic range in your shots. Check out how these clips look before color grading and after color grading. Now let's take a look at flat footage versus log footage. Next, I want to take a look at Hypersmooth comparisons. So we've got Hypersmooth 5.0 in the Hero 11 Black and Hypersmooth 6.0 in the Hero 12. Right now I have them both set to auto boost. Now I don't know about you, but I personally don't see much of a difference between these two shots when it comes to Hypersmooth. I mean, there's maybe a little bit less bounce when I'm running, but in general, these cameras both have really incredible built-in stabilization. But for kicks, let's also take them underwater and see how they handle it. I'm not exactly stoked to go swimming right now, but we're gonna do it for the sake of this video. Feels good. Let's go. Still the same in my opinion. Next up, I want to test out the new Max Lens Mod 2.0. So I can confirm that the Max Lens Mod 1.0 does work with the Hero 12, but the Max Lens Mod 2.0 does not work with the Hero 11. But the Max Lens Mod 2.0 does have its advantages, including 3 digital lenses that you can choose from. So right now we're shooting in wide for both cameras, and I also have the horizon lock on, which is something that you can't do on the Hero 11. So with horizon lock, I'm able to turn the cameras, and for the Hero 12, it shouldn't look like I'm moving at all, but with the Hero 11, you can definitely see that. Next up, I've got Max Super View on the Hero 12 with that Max Lens Mod 2.0 versus regular Super View for the Hero 11. Again, besides being wider, we've got the advantage of horizon lock, which is something that we're not getting on the older Hero 11. And finally, we've got Max Hyperview on the Hero 12 with that Max Lens Mod versus regular Hyperview on the Hero 11. I can see that it's quite a bit wider, like I can almost see my feet on the Hero 12 versus the Hero 11, definitely not as wide. And again, we've got the advantage of horizon lock. And for our final test, I've got the Max Lens Mod 2.0 on the Hero 12 and the Max Lens Mod 1.0 on the Hero 11. Again, I can see that Max Lens Mod, when it's in that Max Hyperview, it's looking so much wider on the Hero 12, like it's crazy. But both do have horizon lock, so I'm able to turn the camera, but it's not at all obvious that I'm turning the camera since both of them have horizon lock. Another advantage of using the Max Lens Mod 2.0 in the Hero 12 is that we're getting higher resolution. So on the Hero 11 with that original Max Lens Mod, we are capped at 2.7K 60 frames per second, versus on the Hero 12, we can go up to 4K 60 frames per second. In case you're wondering, you are able to use that Max Lens Mod 1.0 with the Hero 12, but you're still capped at 2.7K 60 frames per second. You can't shoot in 4K, and you can only do Max Super View. You don't get Max Hyperview. So this is now compared to 4K 60 Hyperview on the Hero 11 with no Max Lens Mod on that camera. The Max Lens Mod does produce quite a bit of barrel distortion, so it's definitely not the kind of lens you want to use all the time, but it can produce some really cool effects in the right conditions. Now, I don't normally do battery life tests, but GoPro says that we get more battery life on the Hero 12, so let's test it out. When shooting at the maximum resolution of 5.3K 60 frames per second, GoPro claims that we'll see double the battery life, so I followed their protocols and set both the Hero 12 and the Hero 11 to the same settings, and tested them indoors and outdoors twice. And the results were pretty much the same. So, less than 27 minutes in, the Hero 12 is turned off because of overheating. And this was actually what happened when it was indoors as well. So even being outdoors... Oh, there goes the Hero 11. So yeah, it's the same conclusion actually. Indoors or outdoors, they last under 30 minutes. Both cameras barely lasted 30 minutes, and in some cases, under 30 minutes. And it wasn't the battery life that did them in, it was overheating. This even happened when shooting in 4K 60 frames per second, which is a setting that I'm most likely to be shooting in. But personally, this isn't a problem that plagues me with GoPros, because I don't usually shoot for longer than 5 to 10 minutes at a time. So if at all possible, I recommend adopting this style of filming when using GoPros to save yourself some headaches. One of the most interesting new features on the Hero 12 is the ability to connect wireless headsets via Bluetooth to record audio. For this test, I used my Sony LinkBuds S, which actually required a firmware update before they properly connected, just FYI, but here's what it sounded like. This is a sound test with the Sony LinkBuds S. This is what it sounds like using that Bluetooth recording and connecting to the GoPro Hero 12. And this is a sound test with the GoPro Hero 12's internal microphones. It's really not the best quality audio. But the nice thing is that the headset audio is recorded on a secondary audio track, so the camera mics still record audio that you can use instead. Besides boosts in image quality, the Hero 12 has other new features, like the addition of a 1/4-20 hole on the fingers mount and giving us back live preview when recording on the phone app. But in my opinion, the superior image quality has always been a strength of the GoPro. So does the Hero 12 offer enough of an upgrade? Looking at image quality when it's in standard mode, the Hero 12 produces images that are pretty identical to the Hero 11. I really can't see much of a difference. Oh, and if you're wondering, the low light quality hasn't changed on the Hero 12 either. But when looking at HDR or log shooting, I do see a pretty big difference. So if you plan to use those features, then it's absolutely worth upgrading. Also, if you've got an older GoPro from the Hero 9 or below, the Hero 12 would be a pretty big improvement for you. But if you've got the Hero 10 or 11 and you don't really need those extra bells and whistles that I mentioned, then you'll probably be happy with those cameras for the time being. Anyway, this is my first of many videos on the GoPro Hero 12. I'll be doing many more, including a comparison to the DJI Osmo Action 4, as well as a complete setup guide to the Hero 12. So stay tuned for those videos. Thanks for watching, and remember, when in doubt, just shoot it.